Hey listeners, want to share your opinions, give feedback, or tell me and Coach Sarah what you're thinking? Send us a voice message. Voice messages are an easy way for you to send us audio that might end up in a future episode of the Mantra Pod. They're the latest feature from Anchor, the platform we use to make this podcast. You can share a zinger that you hear or a cool phrase that we could use in the Mantra Open, or tell us how a mantra helped you move through a tough moment. We'll see all of your messages, and we might add them into a future episode, because Anchor makes that part easy for us as well. You can send us a voice message right now from wherever you're listening. Just tap the link in my show notes. I can't wait to hear from you. Don't forget, if you need a mantra, you can always ask for one at info@coachedandloved.com. Again, that's email info, I-N-F-O, at coachedandloved.com. Today's episode is sponsored by Karma Project. There are 37 million vehicles across 19 manufacturers that have been recalled so far for having a deadly Takata airbag. 37 million! Do some good by alerting your friends and family about this recall and earn a $5 reward for checking your own vehicle. Chances are really good you or someone you know has a recalled Takata airbag in their vehicle right now. Both driver and front passenger position airbags are affected. This means that you and your passengers could be at risk of being killed or seriously injured by metal fragments shooting out of your airbag. I check to make sure I'm not affected, and it's important to me that all of you out there are also checking to see whether or not you're safe. All you have to do is take a picture of your license plate, then visit deadlyairbag.com/health. It takes just a minute, and for a limited time, you can get a $5 reward for doing it. Check now at deadlyairbag.com/health. It's urgent. Do not put this off. Check now at deadlyairbag.com/health.
And that's all I need, too. I don't need one other thing. Not one. I need this.
Hi, my name is MK Fleming. I'm a run coach based in Denver, Colorado. But this isn't a podcast about running exactly. Don't tell my clients, but we're never really talking about the running. When you know a craptastic event is coming, it helps to have a mantra to keep you centered and focused as you move through it. You don't have to be an athlete to be #coached and loved by Coach MK. And if you are here, then you are #winning at life. Today's mantra is, that's all I need. That's all I need. We all need comfort sometimes. Where are you drawn when you need that comfort? What brings it to you? How do you know what you need? I've learned something interesting and unexpected about myself in the past year, which is that when times are tough, I find myself subconsciously replaying a very specific scene from the movie The Jerk with Steve Martin, a movie that I've only seen all the way through one time in my life. I don't know why it's this movie, this scene, but without thought or intention, I find myself replaying the scene where Steve Martin says to Bernadette Peters, "I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring so big, it's gonna make you puke." To which she responds, "I don't want to puke." And this is essentially the exchange that kicks off their breakup. Steve Martin declares that he's leaving, and he walks out, declaring that he doesn't need anyone or anything, well, except this ashtray. And that's the only thing I need is this. Well, this ashtray and this paddle game, and this remote control, the ashtray, the paddle game, and the remote control, that's all I need. I submit that you don't need to have seen this movie in order to watch this scene and laugh, because Steve Martin just sells it so hard. His anguished face under his huge eyebrows, his bathrobe and his pants falling around his ankles as he continues to grab extraneous things as he storms out the door. And this lamp! And this magazine! I think the reason I love this scene so much is Steve Martin's total inability to see himself clearly in this moment. What do you think I am? Some kind of jerk? Well, he is the main character in a movie called The Jerk, so he's missing a crucial piece of context there. But even as he declares that he doesn't need anything, just this paddle game and this ashtray and this remote control and this lamp, he's unable or unwilling to recognize that clearly he does need things. A lot of things. And the things he's grabbing clearly aren't even the right things because they make no sense. But they are what he reaches for, nevertheless. I was at a low point earlier in the week, feeling needy and with no one to turn to ask to take care of me, as so many moms feel at times. And I found myself thinking back to this scene involuntarily without even realizing it. I vaguely remembered, too, that it had made a similarly unexpected appearance in my mind several months ago. I actually remembered describing it to my best running friend, Lisa. I remember we were jogging down a specific street in Cambridge together, but I couldn't figure out what had triggered it that time. I couldn't remember. So I went to my blog, slowtwitchpros.com, and I did a quick search for all I need, and I found it the day I had written about this scene, November 27th, 2018, the day after the ultrasound, where I learned I'd miscarried my second pregnancy in 5 months. A low moment. A moment where I just wanted so badly to be held and taken care of and to know it was going to be okay. That was really what I needed. But on the way home from the ultrasound, the scene just started playing in my head, and I all of a sudden just had a desperate need to watch this movie so I could see this scene. My husband and I were quoting it to each other, and we laughed. We laughed for what felt like the first time in ages. We actually tried to watch the movie last night, and we both fell asleep long before this scene happened. So, oh well. But that's what YouTube is for. The next morning, I posted the YouTube clip of this scene to my blog with maybe a sentence or two. This clip I wrote is all I need. There's one comment on the blog entry, and it is the only comment my husband has ever left on my blog before. And it says, "This really makes me feel better." Wow. Evidently, this scene in a movie that I otherwise couldn't care less about, actually fell asleep watching, is what I reach for when my heart is aching. Sometimes there's really only one thing that we need, and it's to feel better. Whether we reach for something that actually addresses what we're feeling, the source of it, or whether we just reach for something that makes us feel good in the moment, for a moment, we should never discount the importance of treating ourselves with love and care, not necessarily in search of a solution. Whether it's giving your kid a hug when she's in the middle of a huge tantrum about something totally illogical, or getting out the frozen Band-Aids for some bruised feelings. Sometimes just a little moment of relief through something illogical and totally unrelated to any sort of solution can make us feel better. And sometimes that is the beginning of the solution, just to feel better for a moment. Sometimes it's all you need.
You are coached, you are loved, and you are winning at life. And you are definitely winning at life if you subscribe to my Nuzzlenut newsletter, follow me on Facebook, or follow me on Instagram. Feel free to do all three. Kristen and Chill is a comedy podcast that gets real about depression, therapy, and daily struggles. Often irreverent and lighthearted, conversations range from minor social anxiety to mental health and everything that happens in between. Kristen and Chill also covers topics such as having friends with depression, weight gain, suicide prevention, adult bullying, and more. So if you're looking for a more lighthearted take on these things, go check out the show. Search Spotify and wherever else you listen to podcasts to hear more than 80 endearing episodes of Kristen and Chill. You can also join the conversation and find Kristen on Twitter at Kristen Carney. If you're enjoying our podcasts, especially the ones that Coach Sarah does, you can check out the transcripts over at www.coachedandloved.com. All of our existing transcripts are on the blog in the category Podcast Transcripts. Crazy! I know they're totally hidden. Head on over to www.coachedandloved.com. We got all kinds of things to say, and that is where we say them.